Here's a little turn of events. I was not expecting to review another car today, and yet here we are in a Porsche 991.2 generation GT3 with the 6-speed manual transmission. So obviously I am very happy right now. This is about the best surprise that could have happened to me on a Sunday morning, and we're just going to do a very quick drive. I only got 2 cameras right now. We're limited in time here, 15 minutes, so I'm going to do my best to give you guys some driving impressions on this car. Obviously, the 991.1 generation was often lamented by enthusiasts, by purists, for only having a PDK option. So this has the 4-liter flat-6 naturally aspirated engine, makes about 500 horsepower, revs out to a ridiculous 9,000 RPMs, 125 horsepower per liter. So we're going to drive this thing in sport mode with the dampers in the softer setting and the auto rev match on. This might be the last truly great naturally aspirated engine that we see from Porsche. I hope I'm wrong, but if this is the last one, what a way to go out with a bang. That auto rev match is so good. Makes it feel almost as fast as a PDK, as long as you're quick with your clutch and shifter action. The front end of this car feels even more pointy than the 991.2 Touring, and that's saying something. The standard version of the GT3 really shows that this is a true hardcore track weapon. Not as hardcore as the 3RS, obviously, but certainly less comfort-oriented than the Touring model. 500 horsepower, 300 plus foot-pounds of torque. That's a healthy amount of power. Just good old-fashioned, naturally aspirated power. The benefit of that, you get the amazing sound, the high revs, and that incredible razor-sharp response. The front end is just pinned in this thing. Barely feels like a rear-engine car. I think that 4-wheel steering really makes a big difference. See the hairpins here, the rear wheels turn the opposite direction as the fronts, which gives you low-speed maneuverability. As you can see here, it's just so good in these tight, twisty bends. Wow, that sound. That sound. Just goes exactly where you want it to. That is just too good. Too good. I will crack the windows just for you guys, just a little, just so you can get the full experience of this sound with the exhaust in the loud mode. Listen to that. That is just wild. So much traction. Now, as you can see, this car is actually spec'd out with the roll cage and the fire extinguisher here, so it's a real track car. Also, I realized this car does not have a stock exhaust. It has the Dundon Street headers, I believe, because I do remember the Touring really didn't have a whole lot of drone. Driving at low RPMs, it was actually pretty quiet. Now that we've slowed down a bit, I can really focus more on the car that I'm actually sitting in. I mean, this is a really nice interior. It's very focused and purpose-built, but at the same time, it gives you good build quality, good materials. It gives you plenty of tech. These carbon buckets with the houndstooth and the leather, they're actually really comfortable. They are a little bit firm, but the bolstering is good. Holds you in place without being too harsh on a bumpy road. The transmission, super easy to use around town. You know what? I'll be proactive about answering this question because I know one of you guys is going to ask it. Happens in every video. Compared to an S2000, this shifter is lower effort, has longer throws, I think, maybe slightly longer throws, and overall is better for mild driving. When you're driving quickly, I think the S2000 shifter still gives you that really mechanical click-click feel that no other shifter I've ever tried has given me. That said, this 991.2 GT3 shifter is about as close as any OEM shifter has ever come to the S2000s. Engine-wise, this 4-liter flat 6 feels kind of like two S2000 engines, two AP1 motors put together in terms of the horsepower, high revving, but at the same time, there's no distinct crossover. There's no torque dip at 6,000 where in an S2000, that's where the VTEC kicks in, This one's more linear, it's more smooth, it's more usable on a daily basis, has a lot more torque obviously, almost double the peak horsepower and torque ratings of that AP1 motor. Now that we've calmed down a bit, this car actually is perfectly adequate for daily driving. If you're used to driving sports cars on a daily basis, this really isn't that bad of an experience. With the PASM set to the softer mode, it gives you pretty good compliance. The only thing that might detract from the daily drivability, other than the lack of back seats, the lack of storage space, would be the level of road noise and overall just noise inside the cabin that's transmitted from outside and from the tires. This has been something I've noticed in basically every Porsche I've driven. Every Porsche 911, Cayman, or Boxster I've driven has a fairly high amount of noise within the cabin. Minor complaint though, considering what this car is designed for. The fact that it's actually fairly livable on a daily basis is just icing on the cake. So how does this compare to all the other 911 GT cars that I've driven? I think I might have to go home and think about this one a little bit more. But needless to say, you cannot go wrong with any Porsche GT product. They are simply the best of the best.